and welcome back to my channel, Craft Time by Casey. I'm Casey, and today this is the necklace that I will be making, and most of the components of this necklace came from the bargain bead box for the month of September 2022. And if you are interested in the bargain bead box, I will have a link in the description box below. I strongly recommend using that link to go check it out. I absolutely love the bargain bead box and I highly recommend it. If you do go to the website and place an order, make sure you use my code. That code is Casey2. And remember, I spell my name just a little unique. It's K-A-S-I-2. That code will get you $2 off your first order on the website or $2 off your first month's subscription box. So now, this necklace, I'm gonna zoom in to this pendant, and I knew as soon as I opened this bead box this month that I wanted to use this medallion right away. I gave it just a simple embellishment, and I also really wanted the design that was already in the medallion to stand out on its own, and I just absolutely love the way that it came out. So if you would like to see how this necklace came about, then stay tuned. All right, so we're gonna do this necklace in two parts. And we're gonna start off with the 48mm floral cutout medallion that came in the bead box. And we're going to be using one of the flower cap beads and then some 8/0 seed beads. I have these green ones here, and then I have one coral 8/0 seed bead. And I will be using my Fireline 8-pound Fireline. This would also work with 6-pound Fireline, and I'm using it in the color Smoke, which is this black color. And I always get the 125 yards just because I go through it so quickly. And I will be using my set of cutters, and I will be using a size 8 beading needle. I already have it strung with some of the Fireline. So here's how we're gonna start. So I'm gonna go through this center of the medallion and through the flower cup bead, through the 8/0 coral seed bead, and back through the center of that medallion. So then I'm gonna hold on to the thread over here and then pull it through all the way to the end. And once you get to the end, I'm just gonna tie a regular knot, regular over under knot. Then I'm gonna do it a second time. And I'm going to take my cutters and cut off that tail. So now you have the bead very loosely just kind of placed in that center. So now we're going to go up through one of the round holes on the side, grab a green 8/0, go back through that hole on the side, and then pull it all the way through. And now you'll see this flower in the center is kind of pulled to that side. So what we're gonna do now is go to the opposite side where that one green 8/0 is, and then go through the hole on this side, grab an 8/0, a green 8/0, and then go back through, and that you can try to make sure that gets evened out. So from here, I'm gonna go back up through the flower cup bead, just like this, through the 8/0 in the center of it, and then back, just like that. And now it should be decently centered out. So we're gonna do the same thing with the other two holes in the center. So we're gonna go through this one over here, grab a one green 8/0, go back down. Same thing, the flower starts to pull in that direction. So now we're gonna go back up the flower one more time, through the 8/0 in the center, back down, and then through the hole on the opposite side, green 8-0, back through that hole. So now that flower is in the center, it's fairly secure. The back should look just like this, and you have one green 8-0 on each side. All right, so now I'm coming out of this one right here. So right now I'm just gonna go straight across to this one, to the one right next to it, and you could do either one really, but I'm gonna go through this one and pull it out, just like that. So you can't see the thread on the front, and then I'm gonna go through that 8-0. So at this point, I'm gonna pick up 4 8-0 seed beads, and I'm coming out of this 8-0 right here. I'm gonna go into the one right next to it. Just like that, and I'm gonna do that all the way around. All right, so right now I have the last 4, and I'm connecting it back to that first 8-0 seed bead, and it makes a circle, just like that. And now I'm gonna go back around the entire circle one more time to reinforce it. So I'm gonna go through the 4 that I added, and then through the point right there that's connected to the medallion. And I'm gonna do that all the way around. All right, so now I have the flower that's resting in the front, and I've added 4 8-0 seed beads in between each one, and then I reinforced it a second time. And this is what it should look like on the back. So now I'm going to go back down the hole that I'm coming out of, which I made sure to stop at one of those corner points. So I'm going back down that hole, and now I'm going to connect to this hole that's right up from it. So I'm gonna go through this hole, pick up a green 8-0, and go back through, just like this. So from here, I don't want to go over to the next one like this, because then the string will just go straight through the holes. So I'm going to go back in to the hole that's down here, and then I'm going to go back around, back to that corner point, down that corner point right there, and the same thing where I go out right here, grab one 8-0, and go back down, just like that. So now I'm going to do the same thing to these last 2 points. So at this point, I would remember, you don't want to go across here, you want to go back down here to that corner point, just like that, and go out this way and connect across. All right, so we'll meet back up when we get the other 2 put in. All right, so now I just came back out this center point hole right there from after adding that last 8-0. I came back out through here. So now I'm gonna go back around to this point on this side, and I'm going to add the last part of the embellishment to the front, which I'm going to line up seed beads from the center to the outside. So, all right, so I'm coming out of this point here, and I picked up 6 seed beads. And I'm going to go through this seed bead out here, just like that, and then I'm going to go back inside through all of the seed beads that I just added, just like that. And then, since I was coming out of that point, out of that side, I'm gonna go back through this side and go through these 8-0 seed beads to the next side, to the next point, just like that. So now I'm coming out of this side of this point. I'm gonna add 6 more. So I have 6 8/0 seed beads, and I'm gonna go through the one on this corner. And then I'm gonna go back through the 6 that I just added. I'll go ahead and hold these down with my thumb. Pull it through, just like that, and then go back through the other side. So I'm gonna go back through the other side on my way around the 8/0 seed beads. Pull it kind of snug, back through that center point one, and I'm gonna do the same thing to the other 2. Okay, so now I am coming out of this point right here where I just added these last 6, and this is the entire embellishment. It is kind of simple, but I feel like the medallion itself is pretty decorative, so I wanted to embellish it a little bit, but I also wanted the medallion itself to be part of the design. So I'm going to leave it like this, and I'm going to show you how I tie it off. So I'm coming out of this hole right here, the point around the center flower, and I'm going to go back down this hole, just like this. Make sure your thread doesn't get caught on anything. So there you go. So now I'm coming out this hole, and this is what the back of my pendant looks like. I tried to make it where the thread, none of the thread is shown through any of the holes that come through, just like this. So going through the way I did, you should have it where you don't see any of the thread coming through. So now I'm just going to tie off a knot off of one of the thread bridges. So I'm going to go through right here, just like this, and then go through the loop. Tie it pretty tight. Just give it a little pull. Then I'm going to go through again, and then go through the loop. Get it kind of snug, just like that. So now I'm going to take my cutters, get decently close, and there you have it. There is my embellishment to the medallion. So this is the end of part 1 of this necklace. Now we're going to do the second part of the necklace, which is the actual strands. All right, so now for part 2, the tools that I will be using: 2 sets of chain nose pliers, once again my set of cutters, and my set of crimping pliers. I am also using 49 strand bead along wire in the color Bright. That is the silver color, and if you're thinking that my finish here is in antique copper, you are correct, and you won't even notice that the wire is silver. And I always get the 100 feet because I go through it so quickly. So I am using 2 lengths of the chain that came in the box. I'm using 4.5 inches for each length of chain, and I will be using several of the different beads, the frosted 10mm beads and the natural stone 6mm beads. I will also be using the bead caps that came in the box and the spacers that came in the box. And I will be using these 3mm beads as well. And the hook and eye clasp, I'll be using one of those. And then from my own stash, I'll be using a lot of the findings. So the crimp tubes, wire guardians, crimp covers, jump rings, and the 3mm spacer beads. I already cut a length of wire. It's just over 10 inches. So here's how I started. Crimp tube, jump ring, wire guardian. So I'm gonna go through one side, wrap it around, go through the other. And I wanna make sure that jump ring goes inside the wire guardian, just like that. And I want to make sure both ends of the wire go through the crimp tube. I'm gonna pinch that wire guardian closed with my fingers. That tail's a little bit too long, so I'm gonna pull on it a little bit. All right, so now I'm going to try to separate the wires. I know it's difficult to see with such small parts, but you can see it there. Gotta have them separated so that they don't overlap under the crimp tube. And I'm gonna go in with my crimping pliers into that second divot and give it a good smash. Get that taco shape, turn it on its side, go into the first divot, give it a smash. And that gets it pretty good, but I'm gonna go in with that flat part at the end and give it the final smash. And that makes it nice and snug. So I'm gonna hold it by the jump ring, take the crimp cover, and put it right on top of that crimp tube and flip it up. Then I'm going to go in with my chain nose pliers, give it a gentle smash, go front to back, give it that round shape, and that is how we start the strand. So now it's the order of the beads. So we're gonna start bead cap facing up, 10mm bead, bead cap facing down. I'm gonna go all the way to the other end and make sure that tail is tucked in just like that. We're gonna put on a spacer, the larger spacer. All right, so then we're gonna repeat this 2 more times. All right, here we go. So that's the first part. Now let's go on to the second part. This is going to be a very simple back and forth. Just put on one of the 6mm beads and another one of the larger spacers. Just like that, and we're gonna repeat this 3 more times. All right, so here you go. Here's what we've got so far. And the last part, 3mm spacer and 3mm bead. Back and forth, very small, and do this 2 more times. All right, so here is the strand. So now we'll see how we close it off. We're going to put on a crimp tube, jump ring, wire guardian. Put it through one side, wrap it around, put it through the other. And you want to make sure the jump ring is in the middle and that both ends of your wire go through that crimp tube. I'm going to push that wire guardian closed with my fingers. I'm going to pull on that tail. You want to make sure that it's not too tight. You want it to be flexible. So now, sometimes when I do this, I will put the wire back through the first couple of beads, but it's not completely necessary. The strength of the crimp tube will actually hold it, and it is strong enough. And the main reason I'm not going to this time is because the 3mm beads are too small and the wire won't fit back through. So I'm gonna have it going off to the side just like this. Now I'm gonna go in with my crimping pliers into that second divot and give it a good smash. Give it that taco shape, put it on its side, go into the first divot, give it the next smash, and then I'm gonna go in with that flat part at the end and give it the final smash. So before I put the crimp cover, I'm gonna go in with my cutters as close as I can get, cut the wire. Now I'm gonna go in with my crimp cover, place it right over the top of that crimp tube, and flip it up. I'm gonna go in with my chain nose pliers, give it a good smash, and go in front to back, give it the round shape, and there you have it. So now what you need to do is create a second one just like this. This is going to be going off of either side of the necklace, off of the medallion. So go ahead and create a second one, and then we'll meet back up. All right, so now we have all the parts. So we're going to put it all together. So the first thing I'm gonna do is add the chain. So I'm gonna take that jump ring that's on the end, open it, connect it to the last link in the chain, and close it. Same thing on this side, and then close it back. So I'm gonna take another jump ring, open it, connect it to the other last link, just like that. And then I'm going to connect it to the smaller end of the eye part of the clasp. just like that. I'm gonna take another jump ring, open it, the other last link, and now I'm gonna put on the hook and close that jump ring. Okay, so now we're gonna put on the medallion. The larger jump rings that are on there, we're going to connect them to either, to me, they look like apostrophes, apostrophes or half of a quotation mark almost, but we're gonna put it to either one of those, the holes there at the top right here. So I'm gonna open the jump ring, connect it right just like that, and close that jump ring. Then I'm gonna take the other side and connect it to the other apostrophe, comma looking hole. Just like that. And then we can connect the hook and eye. And there you have it. There is the piece. So now I'm going to set it up on my display so that we can see it better. All right, so here it is. And I absolutely love it. I'm gonna zoom right into this medallion, and I really like this embellishment. It is almost very simplistic, but I really think that it just lets the design that's already in the medallion just kind of stand out. And I just think I absolutely love it. I love the way it turned out. I love the green, how it added a little pop of color other than pink. Not that I mind pink, but it's nice to have just a little touch of something else. And very simple beaded strand for the necklace. I think I wanted the medallion to kind of be the focal centerpiece of this necklace. I just love the way it came out. If you like this video and you want to see other videos like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and give me a like. Leave a comment. I absolutely love reading your comments. You guys are so kind. And I would really love to hear what you think about this piece. How do you think it came out? I want you to know that I appreciate each and every one of you, and I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.